Welcome back to Math Maintenance. Today we are going to talk about telling time. When we tell time on an analog clock, we have two hands that we're really paying attention to. There'll be a long hand that's telling us the minutes. That one goes all the way around the circle each and every hour. And there'll be a short hand that tells us what hour it is. That one just moves from one number to the next within an hour. So it's just going to move from here to here while that big hand goes all the way around. In order to tell what the first number is in a time, what the hours is, we look at what the little hand is pointing to. In this case, it's pointing to 3. To tell how many minutes have gone by, we look at the long hand. The long hand, when it's pointing straight up and down, means that no minutes have gone by in that hour. So this time is 3 o'clock, right on the dot. Now what happens is, as that long hand moves along in the circle, the short hand moves along a little bit too. So now it's not pointing directly at the 3, it's pointing a little bit below the 3, somewhere between the 3 and the 4. As long as that little hand hasn't made it to the next number yet, we still use the number right before it, or the number that it's almost pointing to. So it's still 3 o'clock. And the long hand is now pointing to a 2, but that doesn't mean that 2 minutes have gone by. We need to skip count by 5. So we count 5, 10. So this time is 3:10. As that long hand continues moving around the clock, that little hand keeps moving between the 3 and the 4. So if it looks like this, I can tell what hour it is because I look at the little hand and it's between the 3 and the 4, which means I always write the backwards number. It's not to the 4 yet, so we don't get to call it 4 o'clock. It's still 3 o'clock. To figure out the minutes, I can skip count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's 3:30 on this clock. The closer it gets to finishing up the hour, the closer that little hand will get to the next number. So if it's almost pointing to the 4, we know that the 3 o'clock hour is almost over. So I would still call this time 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, which is why that little hand is almost at the 4. It's just not quite there yet. In 5 minutes, it will make it there. I can go the other way as well. If I know a certain time, I could tell you what the clock looks like. So say that I know that it's 9:20. Okay? Well, that little hand is going to tell me the 9. So I know the little hand is going to be pointing towards the 9. But since it's not exactly 9 o'clock, it's going to be a little bit past the 9 already. The 20 is going to come from the long hand, and I can skip count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. So the long hand would be at the 4. Try one more of those. If it was 5:25, well, the little hand is going to tell me the 5, but since it's not exactly 5 o'clock, that little hand is going to be a little bit past the 5 already. The 25 comes from the long hand, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. The key to telling time is just keeping track of the little hand being the hours. It's just going to move from one spot to the next each hour. And the big hand being the minutes. Remember, that one has to go all the way around each and every hour. In your packet, you have the chance to practice it both ways today. So one of your pages says write the time that's on the clock. You'll look at the clock, figure out the minutes, figure out the hours, and write the time down below. The other page has you making the clocks. So it'll show you what the time would look, or what the time is, and you need to draw how the hands would look. Your digital activity for the day is a telling time activity in Google Slides. So you will see clock faces and then times down below, and you can drag and drop those times to match up with the clocks that you're seeing. For your manipulative practice, I would like you to continue practicing with those addition and the subtraction flashcards. Mix them together, see if your head can keep track of when there's a plus sign and when there's a minus sign on each of those cards. Good luck!